In this video, I'm going to be asking the question, how does Suno's stem splitting actually work? I wonder what all this is. Wow, okay, that's weird. So right at the very end of the song, it goes to a kick and a snare for some reason, but the whole rest of the song is just like crash cymbals. So in my previous Suno video, I went over how you can, drag in a song, a demo that you've made and have it reimagine it or cover it, as they say, in a different style that you prompt. So the next step is to extract the stems from that so you can actually work on it in your DAW. And I'm just going to talk about that today. So first of all, I'm just going to go over the final steps of where I went in the last video. So I'm going back to Create, which is on the left side here. And I'm going to use a different song today just to keep it interesting. So this is the latest here. So this Forever Modern Pop Mix. I'm just going to go over here to Remix and Edit and then Open in Editor. So basically up on the top right here it says Get Stems. So I'm going to click that. And I'm going to see extracted stems because I've already done this. I don't want to do it again. And over on this little drop down, this is very important. So in the past few days, I've sort of figured out how this works. So initially, I was going to WAV and MIDI files, where you get WAV and MIDI files together, which works, and you get the MIDI too. But WAV tempo locked, I think, is super important for the way that I work because I want it to be to the beat. But to get the MIDI, you actually have to get the WAV and MIDI files together as a separate download in a separate folder and then kind of work with both. So I'm going to ignore the WAV files that come with the MIDI, and I'm going to use these other WAV tempo locked files. So in practical terms, let's just go over to Logic here. So I've got, this is with the waves and the MIDI in this folder. I'm just going to drag in the MIDI to begin with. And drop it in there. Okay, so there is all of my MIDI. And one of the cool things about the MIDI that they have with the way that Suno does it is it's got program changes already baked into the MIDI. So it's going to give you some, if it's a bass part, it'll give you some kind of bass sound. If it's drums, it'll give you some kind of drum sound. Not always good, but at least it's trying to give you something in the realm of where you want to start, and then you can go from there. Now I'm going to go over to the, this is the tempo locked at 79 BPM, these WAV files. So I'm just going to change the track now to 79. So when I drag them in, it should already be at the right tempo. So I'm going to go here and drop. And then we're going to create new tracks so that it gives each WAV file its own track. And now this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So hopefully the MIDI, I'm just going to find, where are the drums? So this is the drums. And let's just see if these line up with the click already. Okay, so it's just a crash cymbal, but it seems to be lined up at least. And now we're going to grab all of these WAV files, and I'm going to try and line up the drums. So I'm going to solo the drums here. So, whoops, I don't want to solo everything. So, oh, come on. I'm pressing the wrong buttons all over the place. Okay, so get rid of those solos. So I'm just going to solo the drums. But I still want to have everything selected because I want to drag everything together because they're all starting at the same point in terms of the audio. So I can already see here kind of, actually let's grab these drums and move them down. So, and then maybe move these drums and drag them up. So you're going to see these are side by side now. So all this selected, and then I got to go over here. Because I'm sort of zeroing in on this little transient right here is the first hit of the drums, which should be in line with that bar line right there. And I'm kind of doing it by eye. You can see here the MIDI is actually ahead of the bar, which I don't know what's up with that. But from what I heard, it was just a cymbal anyway, which I think is going to lead me to my next sort of point, which is the MIDI that comes out of Suno is super wacky and not very usable in my experience so far. So I'm just going to play the drums by themselves so this is the, okay, I'm assuming it's tempo locked. Let's just ignore that for now, the click. And I'm going to turn everything down by like a few dB, maybe like 5 dB, so it's not too loud. Okay, I'm going to go to where there's more drums. And let's see what the MIDI drums sound like. Yeah, I don't know how the heck that's supposed to be like the drums. So within Suno, there must be something that is not sort of finished yet in terms of how it can use AI to create the waves, like the full song somehow with magic, and then it stem separates that sort of, which we're going to see too, that it does its best, and then tries to make MIDI out of that, and can't really do it. So like, I wonder what all this is. Wow, okay, that's weird. So right at the very end of the song, it goes to a kick and a snare for some reason, but the whole rest of the song is just like crash cymbals. Even though like the actual drums from the stem is, you know, kick and snare and hi-hat and everything. So I don't know, super weird, but you know, it's not a big deal. And I don't know, just for example, let's look at the bass. So this is the bass MIDI. Interesting that it shows upright bass. And then let's hear the stem bass wave file. Okay, that's cool. Okay, let's see if they're together. Okay, so the upright bass isn't a good patch for this. Let's try a different bass. Where did this come from? Studio bass? Okay, I'm not too familiar with this plugin. What about just rock? Yeah, okay, so it's a Rickenbacker. Should do a little better with those like those faster notes. Let's see if they sort of line up together. Okay. Weird. So, so the bass in the MIDI starts earlier. Okay, so that starts on bum. Okay, and let's see what this starts on. Okay, so I wonder if this is actually supposed to start earlier. This is the problem with like the MIDI and the audio not really being in line with itself to begin with. You kind of got to guess. So if this starts on like beat 1, I'm going to drag back. So this bass sound, maybe move it a little forward with the guitar here. I'm just guessing. See if we can get it to line up at all. I don't think it does, but let's try. Almost, it's really close. Yeah. Okay, so it's almost usable. What was that ringing sound? So there's like a ringing sound in the bass stem, and that's just part of the weirdness of the stem separation of the AI, is like things sort of mush into each other. I'm impressed that actually was pretty close. That was almost usable, but I don't know. I don't want to waste my time, like just in general, not today, but like in general with Suno and AI and everything, too much with the MIDI. I think, like, I don't know if I talked about it in the last video, I think I did, that kind of my plan is, and what I've already done with one song, I did a lot of listening to the stem and then just re-recording the instrument with a real instrument. Like I listen to the bass and I play on a real bass, or listen to the guitar, play on a real electric guitar or acoustic guitar. That way, you know, I get the coolness of the ideas that comes out of the AI, but it doesn't sound like AI in terms of the weirdness of the sound quality, because it has this sort of like MP3 sort of thing going on for the most part. And you can hear it more in certain instruments, like the brighter top end sort of instruments have this like low quality sort of sound to them. But I do like a lot of the ideas. I think it's got really cool ideas. I mean, actually, let's just play this track. This is one of my tunes from my Purple Girl album, and this is Suno's version of it.
Babe, I wanna get to know you, but you don't understand me, and you think that I'm a dick. I just wanted to protect you, 'cause really I respect you and don't wanna make you sick. I have loved before and I see us doing it forever. So close together, I thought it was better to pretend I was a mess. Now that you are gone away, girl, I can finally say that you are like the best.
I love what they did with the second verse there, that like dun 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 dun, you know, and with the drums, it's got that I forget the genre, but where the snare drums, like they're layered snare drums, but some of them are like a little bit late and it's just sloppy but groovy. Very cool. And God, I don't know. Let's just listen to just the drums there for a second. Okay, and just the bass again. I think we listened to this already, but why not? Just a little bit more of it. So I think what is going on is the bass is side chained to the drums probably, and that's why it's got that sort of like sucking sound where it's like coming in and out in a cool way. And let's see, what else do we got here? We got some synth. Yeah, it weirdly sort of evolves. So yeah, you can see, like if I zoom in a little closer on the audio stems, there's guitar at the beginning, like here, and then it sort of stops, and there's a little guitar something going on there. And then mostly for the rest of the song, it's just synth. We've got, you know, vocals and backup vocals. Like if let's just drag these down so they're not in the weird order here. So lead vocals and backup vocals are at the bottom. So it's like drums, bass, guitar, keyboard, synth, other. So I think other is like a maybe percussive thing or something. Just like clicking. And then let's see the lead vocals on their own.
Since we worked so close together, I thought it was better to pretend I was a mess. Now that you are gone away, girl, I can finally say that you are like the best.
Yeah, think of all the things that the AI does. The vocals are the most sort of glitchy, like it sort of stutters sometimes, or it'll get words slightly wrong, or the way that it says words are a bit off. But when you hear everything together, you know, you don't notice it as much. But yeah, a great like template for, you know, again, my idea of if I was just going to go and redo this, I could just listen to the parts and then replay them on real instruments, and then you get the arrangement. But it doesn't sound like weirdly fuzzy. This is just the guitar. Let's see what this is. Yeah, in this case, that sounds more like a synth than a guitar. Like it's got like some of the elements of a guitar sound, but yeah, it sounds very synthesized. In other tracks that Suno's done for me, the guitar sounds a little more real in cases, especially like in the lead and stuff like that. Yeah, let's just, as the last thing, I just want to hear the synth and the bass and the drums in like the cool part. Let's see this again. Yeah, well, anyways, this is some stems going on in Suno. I hope you found this interesting or learned something, or I don't know, had fun watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you could, that'd be amazing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.